Hey everybody, how's it going? It's the Fancy Rugby Yanks. My name's Jared Dyke.
I'm Ben Glauser.
Contain yourself over there, young man.
No, I will not.
I hope everybody is ready for the back-to-backs coming up in Europe, and everybody enjoyed what good rugby there was, especially the Sunday, the one match on Sunday there, that draw. I stand corrected. That draw that we saw with Racing and Munster was definitely not the only draw we've seen in Champions Cup. Rewind last year, Bath and Wasp drew. So my brain was clearly scrambled that day.
Well, yeah, but
just that day? I don't know.
nobody pays attention to
Yeah, nobody knows those facts. It's okay. But yeah. Anywho. So let's make sure that you are checking. Let's crack some beers first of all.
I'm itching to do it.
Yeah, I know. I can see you, and I'm with you. Before I spill shit. Hold on.
Oh, yeah, not over the computer.
Yeah, preferably not over computers, but also like, every time I try and like do the one-handed thing with like beer, it goes awry. If I do it with like seltzer water, no big deal. Soda, no big deal. Beer, just it either blows up everywhere or it just spills everywhere. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, make sure that you guys subscribed on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. We're on TuneIn now, which I believe is the Amazon one. I don't know that for a fact, but anyway, it was one that was listed heavily for a lot of people that that were listening to podcasts. So I was like, all right, I guess we got to get on that. Just to give us one more avenue.
If you're trying to listen to us, you have no excuse. We're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah, I think we got one or two more things we can probably
one
sit
final
into.
frontier. But
yeah, I mean, so it's everywhere. So go look us up on your favorite podcast app. We're probably there. So make sure that you're getting your Rugby Mag upgrades. Obviously, it was a big help this weekend. There were a lot of names that got changed out because of Europe. Some teams are competing, some teams aren't. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of big names ended up in the Boys in Black.
Yeah, it also didn't help, thanks a lot, Saints, for...
I know, all the early drops.
The late drops, really.
Yeah.
You kind of had to see
Late
the
drops,
laws
yeah.
you should have seen coming.
Yeah, bigger was a surprise.
Bigger was a surprise.
Yep, for sure. Big thanks to our friend George. We should be mentioning more often, but our big thanks to our friend George, the Fancy Rugby Geek. He participated in our Ask TFRY and gave us a little bit of a hand there this past Friday, and sounds like we gave people some pretty sound advice. So you're welcome.
Yeah, for those of us who said Captain Thacker.
Yeah, listen, I wasn't that wrong. Good God.
No, I mean there's no wrong answer.
51 and 65. It's
right.
Yeah, that's really just beggars being choosers, really.
Exactly.
At that point. It's like, oh my God.
Kind of wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, I have a problem. Do I? No, it's fine. It was a good, very good question.
It was a legit question.
Asking about Piatow versus Thacker, who to captain, and it's like, who the fuck, whichever one you want.
Yeah,
really.
pick one. It worked. Point is, it worked.
Right.
But yeah, thanks for George. As always, he pumps out great content. So if you don't want to listen to us, but you want to read something, or you're sick of listening to us and you want to go read something, go read Fancy Rugby Geek. He's got loads of good content on his website. Thanks a lot, George. So just a little acknowledgement to the Rainbow Laces campaign this past week. I continue to love this. This is something that you don't see here in the U.S. Really, it's not something that is prevalent, and I very, very, very much believe in it. This is an all-inclusive sport. This is not just for the few; it is for the many. So we believe in inclusivity here at TFRY. And I love it. I love seeing the rainbow going down the stripes of the referees. I love the rainbow flags. Yeah. This. I think Rory Hutchinson had some of the rainbow come off on his jersey this past weekend because it was on the field. Still, really awesome stuff. So yeah, I definitely my hats off to Gallagher Premiership for putting that out there and promoting it. I know I think the Premier League usually does it a little bit too, so that's usually fun to see. Soccer. I think there should be more movements like this. Unfortunately here in the U.S. we are kind of stupid when it comes to this stuff.
There's also
a little bit backwards.
There's also a lot of machismo around our sports, and that inclusivity is not, it's not everyone's welcome. It's more of a fit in or GTFO kind of thing.
I don't like it.
No, I don't like that so much either. But that culture is changing. In sports, certainly, because especially when you don't have much of a choice about who you play with, and a lot of times, and so you just have to end up loving the person you're playing with, and you're not so bad just because you're different from me. We see a lot of sports end up driving a lot of our changes but it's long term rather than trying to celebrate our differences over in the U.S. So good to see other places are a little bit better about that.
Yeah, so we support it 100% over here, big time. So hats off to you guys. Well, all right, so let's get into this. I don't want to get too much into the game itself, but I do want to talk about Welford Road and what the fuck is going on there, because, say what you want about the guys that are playing in the Tigers uniforms or whoever. There's something up there, and here's the thing that I want to just kind of throw the caveat into. I hate the fact that there's so much fucking turnover in the NFL and the NBA and the Premier League. There is an average now of 1 to 2 clubs a year in the Premier League that will change their coach twice.
Yeah, that's
so. I'm a huge fan of let's see if we can get this thing to work. Give it a shot. And Jordy's only had a year, a little less than a year, or a little more than a year now, actually. Yeah, because he took over after week 1.
Right after week 1, yeah.
So yeah, it's not something I'm a huge fan of. You give him time, and yes, they might go down. Deal with it.
Right.
Newcastle didn't get rid of why am I blanking on his name now?
Dean Richards?
Yes. So I don't know why people are so and I get there's money lost, and that's part of the thing now.
Once you start affecting the bottom line, that's there's talk of an NFL owner who had just bought his team, kind of starting to feel his way around the game, and goes to a game kind of mid-season or whatever, looks around and there's nobody in his stadium, and he's like, I got to fire the coach. Like, that's the first thing to think of is this guy is there's no fans here. I'm losing money. He's got to go.
It's unfortunate. It's got to come down. It's not one person's fault.
Right.
It never is.
Never is.
So that's unfortunate that it has to go that way.
But moving past this, what's wrong with and there's certainly coaching issues at Leicester.
I have an idea. Fire Mike Ford.
Yeah.
Done. There you go. You fired a coach, and you don't have to get rid of Jordy.
And maybe it's not Jordy that needs to go. He's doing the best he can. But there's watching the. I mean, we got to that one stat. The
oh yeah, the playmaker stat.
Playmaker stat.
The balance.
But that goes to and that has nothing. That can only work. The playmaker stat, when you look at 9, the plays off the 9, off the 10, off the 12. You can only get off the 12 if you have a structure in place.
Yes, true.
Or you just chuck the ball around. Those are those are your two options.
Hopefully not the second one.
Have a structure in place, chuck the ball around.
Yeah, hopefully not the second one, please.
And they're not chucking the ball around, and they don't have any structure in place. It's the first guy gets it, he looks, okay, where's my support? Inside, outside, all right, good. We're just going to attack the line with these 3.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but that might work at some of the lower levels of rugby over some time. I mean, it works pretty decently for Ireland, but that's also at a much higher level of the players that they're using, and they're tailored to that. I don't want my 95-pound fly half running into the line.
I don't know.
20 times a game.
No interest in that.
So it's like that they need to develop some sort of structure. You look at their players off the ball, and there's a first receiver, there might be a second receiver, but there's nobody else out wide. Everybody's kind of they're like a little kiddie soccer team. Everybody's kind of chasing the ball around. And
throw a net over them.
and these are good players. We're not, as much as I shit on Leicester a lot, they don't have bad players. They just don't use them right.
You have a select few players that you dislike, but it's not on the whole. It's not the whole team, obviously.
Right? No, it's not. But I have players I like and dislike on every team. But Leicester, I just don't like because they're. I can't figure them. What the hell are they?
Yeah, they have no identity. That's for sure.
Yeah,
they definitely don't have an identity. There's definitely players on that team that I really like. I like Guy Thompson. I like Callum Green. Callum Mathony's an excellent player in my opinion as well. He definitely is a solid do the work type of guy. They have Jonah Holmes. Unfortunately, Jonah Holmes. We'll get to him in a second. I really like him. So they have some good stuff going on with that team. They just need to figure out. They need to figure out who they are. They really do. And unfortunately, and I do not like Mike Ford myself, and that's why I said his name to begin with. I really don't, and I don't think people understand what it is that. So here's the thing. Unfortunately, the likely thing that's going to happen is Jordan Murphy gets fired, and that sucks. And especially in this day and age, because that's how it goes. I still believe heavily in give the guy a few years.
Yeah.
If he really screws it up hard, if Leicester go down but they don't bounce right back up, all right, can him. Fair enough. All right, I understand. Dean Richards is more than likely going to be bouncing right back up with Newcastle, despite all their leavings, because the championship is kind of top heavy.
It is what it is. Yeah.
It's 3 teams that are racing for it usually, and it's usually the team that just got dropped that ends up going right back up. I'll be kind of cheering when there's a day that happen that team doesn't go up.
Right.
But Mike Ford forced out. God help me, I can't remember the Bath coach name that he forced out, but he forced a guy out at Bath when Ford was there, when George Ford was there, and took that team over. Yeah, they got to a final. They didn't win it. And then he went to Toulon. They hated him there.
Right.
Oh my God, did they hate him there? Yeah, he went to, I think it was Toulon. They went to France either way. And he went to France, and whatever team it was either Toulon or Racing. I think it was Toulon. They hated him there either way. It doesn't matter who it was. They were all like, get the fuck out. Like, they were just sick of him. So.
But it sounds like that might be the same case here. I mean, I'm not saying it's Ford's problem, but they're having the same issue that Wasps had and are continuing to have with players leaving. I mean, just this week and the past couple of weeks, we've seen rumors and pretty solid rumors around Manu Tuilagi leaving. We see rumors around Johnny May. Where is he going to end up? We see Ellis Genge on the verge of a
Premiership switch. Yeah,
I think there's one more that I'm missing too, but that's 3 key.
That's 3 big players for them. For sure.
Those are 3 national.
Those are three England players. Yeah,
and they're saying, "Yeah, I'm looking to move on." That
says something.
And Sam Harrison. There's another one.
And he's done.
Yeah, he's done. He's gone. That was his last match.
He's just hanging him up. He's done.
But he.
I mean, the money's in France and Japan.
Yeah.
And if you don't see yourself as a part of the 2023 team in France, why are you going to stick around?
Right.
Unless you really. And here's the thing: if you have an attachment to that club that's very deep, you have no reason to bail. And you see that with a lot of the clubs.
Right.
That there is definitely a deep attachment to some of these guys. Like, Wasp got Joe Launchbury back for an extension. Ted Hill re-signed for Worcester. Ted Hill's very young, obviously. But Launchbury, being an older guy, could have easily just said, later, I'm going to go make some boo-goo bucks, because he could.
He could.
Believe me, French teams just throw money at players.
Right. It's a name.
It
doesn't matter that he's...
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter that he's long past his prime. It's that, he's a name. We'll take him.
Right. So, that is a thing. And, the fact that he said, no, I'm going to stay right here. I like this place. So that's good on him. And obviously Wasps have done something to convince him. If you really have a culture and a team that your players believe in, they're not ready to bounce that early or that fast.
Right.
And apart from looking for playing time, which none of these guys are definitely looking for playing time.
Look, Ellis Genge is 24. And
he's a baby. That's why he's doing a Premiership switch tonight. He's not looking to go cash in.
No, but I mean, why? Yeah, and maybe he's assuming that the team's going to get relegated, but you can wait till after the season on that one anyway.
You would think so, yeah.
But he's already looking at, where was he looking? Gloucester,
I believe.
And that's a little early. Why you look at? Well, if you're Leicester, if you're the Tigers, you're saying, why is this young, promising prop looking to go somewhere else?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Johnny May's 29. Yeah, he's maybe looking on.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a we'll see thing.
Right.
That's on the edge. If he's really committed to England, then he'll find a place, even if it's not Leicester, to go.
Right. And Tuilagi, 28. He might be thinking.
Same idea.
He's played for England. He's played in the World Cup a couple. He's probably not going to play in the next one, so that kind of makes sense that he's moving on and switching codes even. But
possibly switching codes.
It's one thing when you're looking at guys who are later in their career and they're looking to move on. Okay, that happens. But you're looking at a young up and coming stud joining them and getting the fuck out. There's something wrong there with the culture of the team too. So it's on the field and it's apparently off the field.
Yeah. So it's a multi-pronged issue.
As much as I don't like Leicester, I feel bad for them. I want to like them. They should be like.
I mean, they're a legendary club,
right?
People know the name Leicester Tigers if they know rugby for the majority of it.
And it's a shame where they are, and that that, I like having teams that I don't like that are foils, not like I hate this team and they're just gonna get their shit kicked out of them. Oh, that's not fun.
That's no fun.
There's no fun in that.
Definitely no fun in that.
Like, I'm not having fun this year watching Wasps and Leicester get the shit kicked out of them every week.
Yeah, I know.
It's just not. It's not amusing.
Yeah,
it's much more amusing when there's like hope. Is there any hope for them? Let's crush it.
It's now sad. It's like, I can't help but feel bad for you. I don't like this. This feels gross. What is wrong with me? So there is definitely something going on at Welford Road. It probably doesn't stop and end with Jordy Murphy. It probably cuts a lot deeper. And I think even Goody said, yeah, I'm a friend of Jordy's, but I don't believe this goes. I believe this goes much deeper than him, and I think that's true. I mean, this team had that big score put on them by, I think it was Northampton in that opening weekend. Was that what it was last year?
I don't remember if it was Northampton, but they got
smoked. Pumped. I remember that. And that wasn't him at all. You know, was that Matt Taylor? Was that who that was? But yeah, there's a problem. It doesn't stop and end with him. It's much deeper. Let him try and milk it out and kick Mike Ford the fuck out of that building. Trust me, it'll be better for you. Injury news.
Lots of injury news.
Yeah, some unfortunate injury news. Go just kind of alphabetical here. Dan Thomas came off early for Bristol with a groin injury. He's going to be out for a couple months, it looks like. Month minimum, I'd say.
Yeah.
So you can... I mean, if you had him on your team, I commend you because I love Dan Thomas, but he's just not somebody that performs in and out. But either way, don't bank on him being on the field anytime soon. I guess Juan de Jong picked up an injury in training. I think that's what it was. So either way, he's out for about a month or so. And so that's bad news for me. I think I had him on one of my FRD teams. Obviously, it's going to be a problem for Wasps as well. You can see it in the match this past weekend. Jonah Holmes left Leicester's match earlier. We mentioned him already. He left their match pretty early, and he's probably going to be out for a little bit. So keep your eyes peeled on that. Lovejoy, the best name in rugby. They say it in the broadcast. Lovejoy Chatwama. He's out for a little bit. Looks like he left his match early, which caused problems, which we'll talk about. But that happened. Jackson Ray left the Saracens match. I mean, if only they had a guy to replace him. Oh wait, too late.
Yeah, they were okay there.
Yeah, they're okay there. But yeah, he did leave the match. I think he left for concussion, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully he's better. If not, after this week, next weekend.
Right.
I think so. You'll probably see him back in time if you have him in your team. And in general, get better, Jacks. We love you, bud. Will Rowlands. Oh man, heartbreaker. He had to leave. He is such a good young lock, and you could see it.
That changed the game.
It did. There was because he is such a good ball carrier for them, and we'll get to them in a second. But just a good young lock, and you love his work ethic.
It's weird to say in a 38-3 game. It changed the game.
It definitely had an impact. No doubt about it. So hopefully he's all right. Charlie Matthews got subbed off too, so that didn't. I'm not convinced that wasn't injury related, but maybe it wasn't, and I completely missed the boat on that. Either way, there's problems at Wasp, so spoiler alert. Let's get to the battle at the wreck, the battle at the bog. Good Lord. This field keeps getting turned and turned and turned.
We talked about it.
Poor groundkeepers.
Starting week one, we were talking about this field
we were like, this could be in trouble.
Getting torn the fuck up.
Yep.
It did not look good. I mean, you saw at one point, I think, didn't Elliot Daly went to kick to touch, and he had to figure out a place where he could actually get a solid
TT was trying to help him out and stamp some ground back into it.
Oh,
the turf.
That was just falling apart.
Yes, it was. But there was a match being played at the same time.
There was, unfortunately for the players who had to play on that.
I mean, this was a full noise team from Saracens, and it was definitely a little bit of shaking in the boots from the Bathmen, because they were like, oh, that is a full noise Saracen team. That is not good.
And I felt like Bath kind of turtled a little bit.
Probably.
I mean, you got to know that, you're playing at Saracens at home. It doesn't matter where you are, but even at home,
a place that they've beaten Saracens pretty much every time.
It's not. You're not going to win without getting over the line.
Oh yeah, you got to get over the line, no doubt.
And they went for the 4 penalty kicks rather than trying to go for the corner and trying to score. They cheaped out.
There was a point where I think probably after the second because they went tit for tat, and then I think by the time I think it was the third one that Priestland hit. I think by that time I was like, I think I would try and figure out something else to do here.
Right.
I can't remember. I don't think that one was right in the front of the post. So at that point, it's probably worth going for the corner anyway. So it's where games change when you make decisions like that against a team that, sorry, Bath, is probably better than you. I don't think anybody's gonna argue that.
No.
I'm not trying to be arrogant here or anything, but you just have to know what's in front of you.
Objectively, they're better than you.
You have to know what's in front of you,
right?
And I think Bath realized a little too late, and not even bring on Freddie Burns is a bit of a head scratcher for me.
Yeah, I don't think Priestland had his best game outside of kicking. So. Yeah,
well, Saracens' defense suffocated them.
It did. Well, I mean, so I want to give a shout out here to someone I've been following on Twitter recently, and I all of you should be too. And I'm probably going to butcher his name because it's Welsh, and so I'm sorry.
They have funny things going on over there.
I think it's Geraint Davis.
Okay.
He puts together clips, and it's fascinating to watch some of them. They're coaching clips. And I'll make sure he gets a shout out in the when I tweet out the link to the thing. So he shows that like little clips and shows what's happening and why things are happening the way they are. And one of them was that there's the duality of the attack. He's showing Bath when they got there. They had like 20 phases, right? Or probably. So maybe around between 30 meters and like 15 meters from the Saracens try line.
Okay.
They had like a shitload of phases and didn't really go anywhere. Like they went in that. Like,
I remember
15
that, yeah.
meters, and it ended with the penalty that I vehemently disagree with. But whatever, Chudley did a good job of selling it when he flopped over.
Sell job. Yep.
Yeah, and the referee gave it to him. It was a little bit cynical, but the ref gave it to him anyway. And showing that there's really nothing happening. Bath have no options. It's the same thing we were just talking about with Leicester. They're just kind of throwing a guy in and maybe making a tip-off pass. And Sarries are all set. They're like, yeah, okay. Like, you want to do this? We're set for your attack.
We're ready.
No big deal. You're not getting through us. And then you showed the Saracens attack. I think it was shortly afterwards when they got the try. And it was all this, the changing of, of patterns. And saying, okay, we're going to attack short and then attack wide and then attack short here and then attack wide and moving the Bath players all around the pitch rather than just trying to find a gap to force their way through. The Saracens smarted their way through for a try.
Yes.
And that's the difference. And that's kind of, again, what I was talking about with Leicester is you got to be able to show that variety in attack and have all your options because the gaps are not going to be in tight. The gaps are going to be wider. And then it's not until you attack with that width that the gaps appear in tight.
Right.
So that's what he shows there in the clip. It's fascinating, really, and it's stuff that you can see as you're watching, but sometimes it's stuff you don't. But I liked the comparison. He put together a clip of one right after the other.
Yeah, and just having multiple levels when you're on attack makes such a huge difference. You don't, and even if you're just not a wide passing team, but still having multiple levels in attack makes such a difference. And again, going back to the whole not bringing on Freddie Burns, bring another playmaker on. Homer, Ruckanduguni, and McConaughey are all good back three guys, but you need to bring somebody on that can make that extra play. And if one of them's having a bit of a stinker, which I guarantee you at least one of these guys was.
Right. And Homer was dangerous. He had a couple line breaks, and then but Saracens shut them down. Like that defense, that
looks like the old ones.
Daly did a really good job there. So did was that Wigglesworth at the time? I think. Basically shutting down the Homer's line break. Right. And not only that, but shutting down the options. So he had nowhere to pass to, and Daly was just able to make the tackle. Like little things like that are what separate. That's what Bath are missing. They have the players.
Detail, yeah.
They just don't have the structure in place right now. So the players are making their plays, but
talk about. All right, let's talk about two guys, and then we'll move on. Nick Tompkins was like a pinball, as he usually is, just breaking tackles left and right and still finding ways to get forward. He got on front foot. We didn't score off of it, unfortunately, but came darn close, and it's because he's able to break tackles and make people look silly. because you think you have him and he just wriggles out and or bounces off you and he keeps going. Love the kid. Obviously, I've very much confessed my love for Nick Tompkins over the past year plus.
Yes, he has.
Yeah. But then how about people have made a lot about Owen Farrell's tackle technique. How about the pop he put in?
Whew.
I was like,
he even used his arms.
There was nothing wrong with that tackle technique whatsoever. And it's who's that? Ewells that he stopped cold.
I think so.
I was like, ooh, that's a good hit on a big boy too. That's not on some little scrum half. That's on a big dude to be smacking backwards. So, so much for that tackle technique right there.
Right.
That's well done. Saracens take care of business 25-12, and they start to inch themselves towards the black and trying to get themselves out of the red. We'll see what kind of team they put out this weekend, and they'll kind of be very telling as to what they plan on doing going forward between the two competitions. And first game on Saturday. I know you didn't watch that one, so
let's go right to it.
Okay, Worcester Sale. This turned on a dime with the JL Dupree red card. Luke Pierce was the referee in this game, and he was excellent. Here's the problem that I understand it was a bit of a soft one. If JL Dupree is not in front of the runner to begin with, then this becomes a non-issue because he doesn't have to he doesn't feel like he has to throw the shoulder. He ends up putting it right into the beak of I think Kitchener. Just like, yep, that is right off the old schnozola. There is no denying that.
Kind of have to try to hit someone of Kitchener's size with.
Yeah,
I mean, I realize Dupree's not
short either.
Right, he's not short, but still, dude.
Yeah. So that kind of is where it turned. Faf obviously started this thing off hot for Sale with a try, and then getting up and getting a little bit unnecessarily scrappy. And I understand Weir went down on him a little bit unnecessarily too, but you've made him pay with the ultimate price by scoring the try. Yeah. Show your boots. There's no reason to keep going. I think Pierce wanted to reverse the decision really and be like, you know what, you don't get the effing try. We're going to give a penalty against you instead, shithead.
Yeah, there's no need for that. If you want to give him like a little bit of a shove or something like that, that's fine. But to like grab him, like pull the back of his jersey, like just shove him, like, dude,
try and dump him over the advertising
if there's any
boards
look,
there.
Faf is not. He's a good scrum half, but he acts as though he's like God's gift to rugby. And,
definitely not.
And he's not that. He's not nearly as good as he acts like he is, and it's really annoying to have that, to see that ego. That's very not rugby, I guess, is where it comes down to.
Right.
He's just he's starting shit just for the sake of starting shit. So I'm glad he fucking lost this weekend after that.
There you go. Worcester did start to turn through the gears a little bit better. Ashley Beck scores one right through the middle, basically. Looked really good. I thought it looked like Mills. I think Mills or Venture was going to have. No, I think it was Mills. Mills came on for Venture. That's why I had the two of them confused. I think Mills was going to have one, but then they said there was an obstruction on against John Ross. I don't remember who they said got in front of him. Anyway, and one more note, and we'll move on. I would dare say that Steve Diamond would be smart to make Akker van der Merwe earn his spot back. He's not played that well. We talked about some of his issues that he's having come lineout time. Rob Webber looks like he's useful in the loose, and he's also a much better lineout thrower. I know Akker's big thing is he's useful in the loose, and he can, he's a pretty good ball carrier. Rob Webber doesn't look nearly that bad. He looks certainly serviceable in that role.
He's not South African.
I know, right? Seems to be a theme with this team. But yeah, I think Steve Diamond would be served well to at least give Rob Webber a little bit of a run, because Akker, I think, has had his run, and I don't think he's done that well in that time. So I think it's time to go back to the guy that started for you last year and did pretty well last year, if I remember right. I don't think I'm making this up in my brain. So I would go back to Rob Webber and make Akker van der Merwe earn a starting spot, or wait for Rob Webber to really screw up. Hopefully that isn't the thing that happens, because that just sucks.
Yeah.
So Worcester take care of business, and they get themselves, I believe they're fourth now in the Premiership.
Oh, I have
20 to 13 over Sale.
Worcester are fourth. Yep.
Wow. Who knew? I mean, early days still.
Yeah, there's
only
still
week 5, but
ways to go.
Oof, I mean, to see
Gloucester is still getting back into it.
Yeah.
So it's early, but hey, you're there.
Yeah, I mean, if you can stay there, it's good on you.
Right.
Let's go to very unfortunate, kind of an unfortunate result. Exeter and Wasps. Yikes. This was not.
It was close. Wasps really. I mean, it was 10-3 at half.
Right.
So it's and Rollins was struggling even before then. He had to come off in the first half. It was, I don't know. I didn't see what happened, but he just
hammy, I think. Yeah, he was struggling with something bad.
He was
not good.
He was struggling, and to be fair, Exeter did put out kind of a depowered team. So no Slade, no Hogg, no Johnny Hill. Both Simmons on the bench.
Started. Yeah.
Yandel has a broken forearm.
He has a broken forearm.
That's one thing I also want to say. I was like, thanks, news that didn't seem to make it to our shores that Yandel actually broke his forearm.
Yeah, I never saw anything. I did see him last week, and I actually commented on it. I obviously didn't recall seeing it.
I didn't see any follow up to that though. That's the thing. Is really
true. That I'll give you. So I wish I had remembered that was happening.
Yeah,
but that was a rough one to see for sure. That just sucked. Anyway,
I mean, this game was a game until basically the 50th minute, and then the sequence there. So it's 10-3.
Mm-hmm.
Exeter, you have earn a penalty, driving maul, scores. That's the Luke Cowan-Dickey try. So they're down 17-3 now. Wasps respond because you want to score real quick. Right afterwards,
mm-hmm.
What do Wasps do? They kick the restart directly to touch.
Right. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh god, what a hammer hit.
And now,
here's I mean, sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Here's my otherworldly, baffling question: what the fuck was Jacob Umaga doing starting in this game?
They like him.
I know, but better than Lima Sopoaga?
I guess so.
So either Lima Sopoaga has become the biggest bust signing since they got him, or
I'm seeing. I think there was even I thought I saw something where even Sopoaga is like, no, I do like it here. Everything's cool. Like nothing's bad.
Is there a rumor that he was going to leave?
I think there's a rumor that or whatever that it's not working out. I'm just hearing things. I'm seeing whispers. That's all I'm saying.
Rumor mill.
I heard things.
The rumor mill. I don't know about that. Man,
but
he's an All Black 10.
Yeah.
If he's not working. And I don't think it's him. As far as attitude and I know he wants to play. He's a guy that loves to play. It's why he actually was sick of not playing for the All Blacks. He's like, I can't sit here and be a backup 10 for the rest of my life. So I'm going to go, and just play.
Right.
But he's a backup 10 this weekend.
Or maybe it's that they want to see what Umaga is going to do against a top tier competition.
But this was not the right time to roll that out. Oh boy!
So he kicks it directly to touch. Again, penalty at the scrum, and guess where we are? Exeter kick it to touch, and then they end up. Then they have so this is all after the try that makes it 17-3.
Mm-hmm.
Kick directly to touch, penalty at the scrum. Exeter kicks to the corner. Exeter get over in the maul, but it's held up. Or in the play right afterwards. In the scrum, the Wasps collapse, and Kieran Brooks gets his yellow card. The next scrum, penalty to Exeter, a penalty try to Exeter, and it's 24-3. So that sequence, right? You can't respond like that.
No,
that's very poor response. Kicking to touch, penalty at the scrum.
It's a bad sequence.
Penalty at the scrum.
That's a very bad sequence.
Yellow card penalty.
There's no other way around
try.
it.
That's the game.
That's a terrible sequence. There's no other way around it. That is poor. I'm sorry so here's the thing. I see the Wasps squad and I think this looks like an awesome squad. They've done some good stuff. I'm not saying Leicester's squad is any worse, but there's just some better pieces that are in place here with the Wasps, and they're just as bad, if not worse, eye test. I know scoreboard says one thing or another, but just eye test. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't begin to answer.
Steenson steps in for his first prem action the whole year, which says a lot about Joe Simmons and the job he's done. Something like he hasn't missed a kick yet. Maybe he's missed one.
Wow.
He didn't miss one until last weekend, maybe. I was like, woo-wee.
And if we're talking on the Exeter side, I have to make up for a player that I've been trashing. I didn't trash. No, I'm sorry. That's not fair. To me,
Yeah.
to be fair to me, I've been I kind of rode Tom O'Flaherty a little bit
For a while, yeah.
for a little bit because
I
I,
did
I
too.
saw him getting the ball a lot but not doing anything with it. That has changed
Yeah, he figures
slightly.
out. He's figured out where the try line is.
Right, and he's figured out where the gaps are.
Yeah, also that.
And so I think that
More
maybe
importantly.
they were trying to sort him. And he's again young guy, still sorting himself out at this level. And yeah, that so to me that maybe it's a different perspective now seeing what he's doing here, and maybe it was get him busy early and have him learn, and now he's not getting the 10 to 20 carries or whatever the fuck it was that other week when he had like 15 carries for 30 yards.
Like not much, yeah.
Now it's or 30 meters, sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
Different fucking metric system.
Same idea.
Now he's like finding those gaps. He's maybe taking 9 to 10 carries, but hitting those gaps and getting over the try line. So real development out of Tom O'Flaherty. I want to make sure I point that out.
Yeah, he's definitely come on big time for this team, and they need it. They're Phil Dolman played in this game, but he's kind of saying bye bye soon. We know what we see, and yes, he's quality, and not to knock him in any way, shape, or form, but we know what's going on. We know that they need some youth coming through here.
I want to see a back three there of Armand at 6, Kvesic at 7, and Simmons at 8.
Yeah,
that's what I want to see. Or even Kvesic at 6.
Yeah, they love Ewers. That's the thing.
I don't get it. I like Ewers, but those three, how could you not want to just try it? Just try it on.
I'm sure there'll be a point where
just give it a shot.
Rob Baxter can't
do
anything but help himself and play the three of them. So, long story short, Exeter take care of business big time, 38-3. They have got themselves firmly in the playoff hunt, obviously as they usually would be, in third, which is a weird place for them, but there's still plenty of time, as we said. So
and they got time. And
they'll come good.
And they're still sorting themselves out. They're, like I said, I've been saying, and we even saw it a lot this game. Their attacking structure has been they have their plan of kick it, get the penalty kick to touch, maul it in or whatever, shove it
somehow,
in.
Yep.
But they also are able to play a little bit of open field, and I like it. So I think that they'll creep their way back up the standings.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, welcome to the Premiership, Matt Proctor. My goodness, what a day! He had 2 tries and a try assist,
something like that.
Yo, baby, what a day for the guy. Yeah, so much for New Zealand. He looks pretty at home right here. He looked really good in this game. Northampton and Leicester. This is a huge game for the two teams, obviously, as far as rivalry goes. Leicester have definitely been the big brother for a long time, but they are definitely now sitting on the bottom of this thing. It's not pretty. We had the 2 injuries that happened at pre-match, which kind of threw everybody off. Like, what happened?
Right.
But yeah, what are you laughing at so freaking hard over there? You find a piece of candy in your pocket?
No, I may have been high while I was watching this match. I'm just reading through a note that I completely forgot that I wrote. The Ratuniarawa penalty reversal after a stupid late hit on Ben Youngs. My comment on that was, I do understand the sentiment.
I want to hit Ben Young sometimes too.
Yeah. So yeah, that I just saw that and I was like, oh shit, that I lost it. So sorry.
That's all right. He got over too.
Yeah.
Happy did.
Oh, that was an amazing try. Like the
big boy
Saints just had highlight tries.
They were. I mean, this is definitely a knock on the Leicester defense. They were finding space everywhere. Mm-hmm. They really were. Furbank was just finding half gaps and making things look good. I'm like, dude, there's a problem here. Obviously, Nairo, he's looking every bit the part that everybody thought he was when he was at Waratahs. Mm-hmm. But obviously, you and I both know that he was probably a little bit on the overweight side. Probably needed to shed a little bit of timber there.
Yeah,
and he did. He got to
put him on the Will Skelton plan.
Yeah, he got to England and shed some. He didn't start well.
No, but this is a guy who he was playing at. They would bring him on defense. They would bring him into 12.
Right,
and
he's a big boy
because he couldn't move at wing. He legitimately could not defend at wing, and now he's
He's getting that head of steam, which is
well-rounded
terrifying.
wing. Yeah, it is.
It's like, oh no, this could be a terrible decision I'm about to make right here. So that was it was pretty convincing from Northampton. You know, I know Leicester tried to fight back a little bit, and they got the Guy Thompson try. If anybody on this team deserves a try, it's Guy Thompson. He plays his ass off every week for this team.
He does.
Doesn't get a ton of notice.
I want to point out Waller he's a prop. He had himself a hell of a match too. I mean, the Saints just top to bottom.
Yeah, they really had some good games.
The Rotuniarawa had a couple of brain farts. So, like I said, the penalty. He had a couple of balls that just bounced, one off of him, and one he looked at it as it was bouncing.
Not something you think from.
Oh, look at that!
not something you expect from the big Fijians.
No, I know they liked having the ball last time I checked. So.
Yeah, last I checked.
So yeah, Hutchinson, Proctor, Collins, Furbank, all those guys just killing it.
Yeah.
Reinach, obviously, great match himself. You could just go through basically 1 through 15 plus
plus a few
plus the rest
subs,
of them,
plus a few subs played pretty well for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Northampton take it down 36-13. Leicester are scrambling to find their footing in the Premiership. They have one win, and that was not even the prettiest one that they could have had.
No.
So there's an uphill climb for these boys. I know there is for our guys, but it's almost like they have the same type of climb to go.
Well, they have the climb, but they also, I think, have the little bit of the quicksand. Where it's like
possibly,
it's one thing when you look at this, our guys, and they have the reinforcements coming. The cavalry has arrived and they're ready to turn it around a little bit. There's no cavalry coming for Leicester. They gotta. This
is what they have.
This is it.
Yeah, a few guys here and there missing, but really,
yeah,
this is their team. So we'll see what they can come up with. To the stoop. The hell's going on with Gloucester? Number one, what the fuck was it with those kids? Good God. My eyes hurt.
Yes, I think I wrote that down too. It's like, yeah, those Gloucester injuries are awful, are god awful.
Yeah.
Yuck, barf.
Yeah, all of them.
No, everything terrible.
All of them. D all the above.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? The continuity. I don't know what's going on with it.
Do we need to put Lloyd Evans into 10 for Sips? He honestly, like, of
I
the
thought
game,
Sips had a decent game
of the stuff I've seen from the two of them. I'd say he's been the more lively of the two. So that's the terrifying thought.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah, a lot of breakdown penalties for Gloucester in this one. They were not disciplined at the breakdown at all.
No.
I don't love Craig Maxwell Keys, but when the referee says, "Don't put your hands in there," don't bloody put your hands in there. Yeah. And there was somebody. I think there was one that was Murray, and he has hands on it, but he was really long, and I was like, I don't think he's holding his body weight there, so I think that's a fair call. And they didn't like it, and I was like, I don't think he has his weight there. He's reaching over, I think it was Mostert. I was like, if you're reaching over that dude and you got your hands on the ball, and you're short as Franco Murray is, you probably don't have control of your body weight. So fair point.
Can we talk about Reece Zammit real quick?
I like the kid.
How fucking fast is he?
Oh, super.
Like, he took that ball, and like Ibitoye had the angle on him, should have been ideally running stride for stride with him, and Reece Zammit's like, bye.
Haha, you're funny.
And unfortunately, he kicked it directly to touch right afterwards. But he really had no. He was honestly going too. That ball was going either out the back or directly to touch. He was going too fast to actually kick the ball.
Yeah,
at that point. But holy shit, those wheels! That he's going to be a fun one to watch in the coming years.
Well, and then on the other side, a guy we already know and love for Gloucester, Ollie Thorley with a pair.
Yep.
Getting sneaky, going around the ruck for one, and then one way out wide. Well, not way out wide, but a little wider than that one. That's for sure, at least.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously, and Don Brandt got over, which is surprise. People have been saying, where the fuck's this been the whole year? Because people are waiting on him to really turn it on. He will, and we know he will. Ross Chisholm got a little creative around the ruck, not unlike Thorley. So,
and there was another cheeky little shit. So this was the week of this weekend was the week of the cheeky little shit nines, because we had Faf being a cheeky little shit after his try.
Chudley.
We had Chudley with a cheeky little shit. Oh, I fell. Even though fucking Barrett had his hand, like he already had the ball. So it's like that. I didn't like that penalty.
Nope.
And then we had Danny Kerr throwing it right into a Gloucester player who's actually rolling away.
That really annoys me.
And the referee's like, oh, yeah, nope.
Yeah, he got a little duped in that one.
Yeah, that's come on. We gotta. These are things that I feel like, especially that penalty, Rugby has been trying to take out of the game.
Yeah, like if he's on his stomach or his side or whatever, and he's not trying to get up or anything like that.
So he was kind of on his hands and knees, but he was doing it to move out of the way, and Kerr just like everything was settled. He was looking to pass it out, and he just kind of picked up and threw it right at him real quick. Like that ball was going nowhere but into the player on the deck.
Yeah, you got
there was no need for that. Very cynical that I thought the referee should, that pass was not going to a player. That pass was going into the Gloucester player, and they got to get rid of that. It kills the game.
Yeah, 100%. There was plenty of good. Ibitoye doesn't look terrible.
No,
and he's not the guy that we thought he was. He looks actually a lot better. Let's go back to Gloucester for 1 second, then we can finish up on anybody else. Is Mark Atkinson underrated?
Yes,
I think so.
Oh, he's. I mean, at least he's not getting the love he deserves this year. He has been amazing this year.
And he's not the best distributor, but he can be the distributor that you need at 12.
Right.
If you're trying to get a little expansive.
I think Gloucester
have a good runner too.
They have a good transition plan, it looks like, in Gloucester. I mean, 12 Trees is kind of
bye-bye
tail end of his career. They have Atkinson ready to step. I mean, it was 12 Trees and Atkinson. I like that combination a lot, but I also like the combination of Atkinson and Harris.
Yeah, Harris loves a tackle.
Yeah. That's a good group right there, and I think Atkinson's only going to get better.
Yep. No argument out of me.
Back to the match, though, as a whole, every score was a lead change.
Yeah, and I think
until the very end.
Was it Lull that was on the comms? Yeah, it was back and forth. It really was until that last score by Quins,
right after
which was already in red.
Which
clock.
didn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the 12 Trees honk.
Oh, how painful was that?
Well, also, I guess at this point, respect the kicker kind of goes out the window in that situation.
Oh, man, I guess so. Well, I mean, you got to give him a little bit of razz for having the ball fall off the tee, I suppose. But, you can probably quiet back down if you... Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was just really rotten luck for 12 Trees. That's really all it came down to.
Right.
It's like, there's no way he expected the ball to fall off the tee. No. So it was just bad luck. Gloucester a little ill-disciplined when they didn't need to be, and they paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
So 23-19 to the Quins. Gloucester, again, another team that definitely need to start finding their footing real quick here.
They can't. That was one. I mean, it's at Quins, so
it's a tough one.
That's forgivable, but that's a match you should try. If Gloucester are where they need to be, where they want to be, they win that match.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
They got a ways to go.
Agreed. And then to the match of the weekend at Ashton Gate.
Party on, Wayne.
Yeah, indeed it was. Oh my, your guess was good as mine in this one. So I mean, spoiler alert. Let's go right down to it. Kicks killed Bristol. They missed at least 3 or 4 kicks. If they had 2 of those, this game's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave up that last. Really obviously, they gave up that last one.
Sheedy kind of spit the bit there.
Yeah, just a bit. And it says a lot that they've kept going to him and then Owen Lloyd.
God, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's a freaking baby too.
Yeah.
It says a lot that they keep going to the likes of those two, and I think they still have Ian Madigan in their ranks, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, he's somewhere in there, but
I don't know if he's broken or if they're just not really into him. So if they're not, then if I'm Madigan, I'm ready to go like Japan or something, start make myself some money.
Right.
But either case, Bristol played their expansive game. They looked really good. Obviously, Harry Thacker he's back. He's back. He has returned. This is the return of Harry Thacker. Good God. That try at the end just kind of...
Was that Hughes' first try for Bristol too?
No way.
Okay.
He's got 3 or 4.
All right.
Oh yeah, no way. He's
I just couldn't remember.
Yeah,
I was
he's a bully too. Yeah, he scored. I think he scored 2 in the opener.
Okay.
Yeah. Either way, he looked great. I was glad to see Alapate Leiua come back. But then we had a strange incident with this one where we had Ollie Hoskins leave for a red card.
Yep.
And then we had Lovejoy Chadwama get sent off or have to come off for an injury. So we had depowered scrums, and I haven't seen depowered scrums in a long time.
We saw we saw uncontested scrums. Wasn't in the World Cup? Wasn't there a match in the World Cup that had uncontested scrums? I think
there was supposed to be one, but they kept them contested.
I know we've seen uncontested scrums in a recent match, and I can't remember when it was.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
It's you just don't see it. I was like, even then, I was like, what the fuck am I seeing?
Yeah, and they just basically took turns with guys hanging off the side of the scrum because they want. You know, I think Barnesy was the referee in this match, and he said, "Yeah, you need to be attached because yes, this is a depowered scrum, but we're not going to just let you hang out loose. You need to have 8 guys in there. You don't get rewarded for having your prop go out and then a prop go down." So
two things that I want to bring up. One for the referee, and the other for the team, because I think this was huge for the team. First with Barnesy. There was a very not straight line out by the Irish in the second half, and early in the second half, shortly after Hughes' try, and that he allowed because the Bears didn't contest it. And I was like, thank you. It was like, just let the game play.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need. The Bears aren't contesting it, so just let the play go on.
Assuming it doesn't just like end up going right to the scrum half.
No, it wasn't.
Not straights can probably be a little bit more lenient when there's no comp.
Right. Put it this way. This was a clear not straight if the Bears had contested.
Right.
But because they didn't, it was like, okay, play on. Fuck it.
I'm a fan of letting those go.
And the other is about Ollie Hoskins.
Hammerhead.
But did you see his face? As soon as the TMO buzzed down.
Did he go, oh shit?
No, he looked distraught.
He's like, oh, I might have screwed up.
He's like, oh, because he knows he's going off. He doesn't know what color it is, but he knows he did something. Like, and that kind of reaction is so helpful to the team because you see, we talked about some of the other guys. Was the Wasps player who got red carded?
Otoglu.
Was it Wasps?
Yeah, okay. the kung fu kick.
Yeah.
It was walk.
And it's like, and he like freaks out. And first
baffled.
Off, as a teammate, I'm looking at that and be like, dude, you fucking kicked a guy in the face. Fuck you.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right. Like, that doesn't make me want to play hard. That makes me want to be like, you know what? Fuck this. And I realized the game was over, so it didn't matter. But at the same time, like, you do that happens at halftime, like this Hoskins. And I'm like, I had to play another 40 minutes with a man down because this fucking asshole decides to do something stupid and then goes off and blah, blah, blah. Like,
thinks he hasn't done anything wrong.
Right.
Dipshit.
Like, no, you did something wrong. Don't act like you didn't. Don't act like this is a surprise. Hoskins immediately is like almost in tears on the field.
He's like, I might have
as soon as the TMO, is like, oh, we're going to check TMO. And then they cut right to Hoskins. And he's like, I'm like,
yeah, that's you, big guy.
He knows he did something. Yep. He knows it's going to, and he's upset because his team got hurt by it.
Mm-hmm. He knew it. He done knew it.
And that's I think that alone changes how the Irish played the rest of the match because I think that helps.
They definitely rocked up. You can't take it away from them.
Right. So to have him be like, I'm sorry, guys. Like,
I totally fucked this up, guys.
That's my bad. I'm so sorry. That makes me want to be like, you know what? I want to back you up. Yeah. You made a mistake. Let's pick you up.
Yeah, pick you up a little bit.
And that I think that really was a catalyst for how the Irish played the second half and ended up coming back and tying this game. That was a huge, huge event for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's talk about that Holmes try. Just noped 3 guys. And I mean the Irish are gonna that film this weekend was like yesterday or today was probably not pretty to
fun.
watch. That film review was probably just like, oh, like those 3 guys were just like hiding in the chair, like, where can I hide from this? This is bad.
Can I get any smaller? No, you cannot. It was almost like the water boy with the coach when he's watching he has time to pick up he drops the ball and he has time to pick it up and dust it off and carry it. Like, yeah, Holmes had like the ball like dribbled to him. He went to a knee to pick it up and he turns around. There's still nobody on him and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna go for a run. He burns one guy, like steps the other, and then just gives a little fend at the end to free himself. Like, dude, I mean, I realized they were a man down at the time, but to
it was
have
great.
Nobody there on the lock on the wing is
was great.
Yeah, that
Still a
film
great
session could
try.
not have been fun.
No, it probably was a lesson from the review session. So it's a 27-27 tie from Ashton Gate between Bristol and Irish, and that is a big one. But Bristol still stay in the top four, and Irish, again, we said it before, they're a team to not be messed with. Don't sleep on them.
Question.
Shoot.
Though. So I want to take you to the very end of the match, though, where, the
Penalty.
the penalty kick, they get the ball and they kick you right to touch to end the game. Would you have putting on you're the coach of the Irish right now, or the captain, I guess, who's making that decision? Do you try for the win?
No, not in that. Having been a man down and knowing that this could have been a game where we got humped, and in an away game, that's the other thing. It's an away game. If it's a home game and we have the crowd support, you might give it the old college try for at least a few phases and then be like, all right, this is not going fucking anywhere.
Right.
And hoof it. But in an away game, that you probably had no business winning and definitely had no business winning once you went down up to a prop and down to fucking uncontested scrums. Yeah, that's one of those ones you just count your blessings and take the 2 points and run away.
Just a little thought experiment as to what if you go for it? That's one of trust your players a little bit because they had played their hearts out for all that match.
Yeah, that
would
have been a big ask.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them try. That's all. I mean, I appreciate the decision. I would make it myself if my job's on the fucking line, of course.
Definitely.
But as a fan of the game, I want to see them give it a shot and try to win, even against I really like Bristol.
Yep.
And I want the best for them, but at the same time, I kind of want to. I think for what would be best for rugby might have been an Irish win instead of a tie.
Yeah, fair point. Okay. Let's do a little either or. So I've got two players from each position in TRM, and I could have categorized this as back rows and back three as well, but we're going to go by position specific because some of these guys you need that exact position too. So It's like, okay, well, these guys are the ones that play that position out and out. So here you go.
And I'm going through this completely
blind.
So.
Yeah, I've given Ben no heads up on this one. Start with centers. Hutch or Atkinson?
Hutch.
Okay. So here's a fun fact. They're the top two centers in TRM. They're very similarly priced.
Yeah.
Very similarly priced.
Right.
Like $230-ish, give or take. So
both.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I mean,
start two.
Hutch. I went Hutch fast, obviously.
Oh, it's Hutch.
Because it's Hutch, but also the Saints back line is just ridiculous right now. And he's gonna get so many opportunities, even if he's not scoring the tries, he's gonna get a bunch of try assists just by virtue of being in that back line.
No,
and as we talked about, Gloucester's back line is kind of shaky right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Hutch is 35 and Atkinson's 231.
Wow.
So they're very similarly priced. They both played 5 games. They both have some good games and some meh. So yeah, it's pretty much a dead even split. So it's a matter of which team you think is going to do the best. I don't oppose Atkinson, and this is my counter argument to it, only because he's probably going to be he's such a big piece right now, and they have a hard time sitting him. Yeah. So that's the other thing. I know Hutch, they're going to have a hard time sitting too, but still, he's such a big part of that.
Hutch is up to 261. Oh, okay. So the changes have been made. Hutch is 261. Atkinson is 251.
Okay, so
but they're still
right
around
still
the same.
About the same price.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yikes. I'm just going off my spreadsheet. Not off. Because I can only look at so much in front of my face.
Right. No, that's fine.
Fullbacks. Simon Hammersley from Sale or Chris Pennell from Worcester?
So I feel like Sale I think are the better team.
Yeah.
No
argument on me.
And but so with Worcester, you're going to get a lot of playing time for Pennell.
Now, neither one of them's had a great start to the season. Hammersley even had a minus game, but Pennell missed a game as well.
Right. So Fuck. I honestly don't really like either of those options.
Right.
So it's just draw. We're going from a both to a neither.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go Hammersley.
Okay, and he's probably the cheaper of the two. So I guess if you have to have a distinct difference right there, that's probably it right there. I think Hammersley's a little bit less than him, than Pennell. There's the word. I knew the word somewhere in there. Here's a fun one. Fly half. Duncan Weir, Joe Simmons.
Oh, that's tough.
And they're almost dead even in points.
Yeah.
They're almost dead even in points. They're 78 and 77 apiece.
I mean, that's...
Weir's missed one game.
Right.
Actually, and obviously Simmons didn't play much this game either.
No. But I think Simmons is going to get that a lot more play. I don't really like Worcester this year. I don't like them as much as I did last year. I think they're I think I even texted you. They're missing Heem for some reason.
And Josh Adams.
And that kind of helps too.
That part.
Yeah, that part. I just don't know that I don't trust Weir.
Fair enough.
And I don't particularly like Simmons for fantasy value because of the way Exeter play. He's not going to get as many opportunities to be a scorer. Or really go for a run himself. So then it comes down to the kicking difference, and I think he's going to get a lot more opportunities to kick. So yeah, I'd go Simmons.
Okay, I think I'd take Weir because they just seem to kick for points a lot, and he usually finds a way to nail them. Just and he's also got. Neither one of them have a super quality backup, to say the least. So I guess that kind of throws
it helps. I mean, either one of those, you're doing
Simmons
okay.
is probably the cheaper of the two, only by a touch.
Yeah.
So if that's your drawing.
But if I have those, and I do actually have Weir, and I don't have Simmons, but I'm going with I'm going with my door number 3 with Callum Sheedy at that point.
Oh yeah, he's one
who's
of the better.
Cheaper than both of them and has like double the points.
Yeah, but sometimes
right.
you.
But if you
already have Sheedy,
right?
Now
if you already have Sheedy, then I would and I have Duncan Weir, but I'd rather have Simmons at this point.
Fair enough. Fly half, or no, not fly. We just did fly half. Dumbass. Sorry, my brain had a fart. Chris Robshaw or Ruren Ackerman. Man, you said that with no hesitation.
Robshaw, I don't think he's a
1 point difference. Ackerman's played more games.
Yeah.
Robshaw had a 40-point game.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. I think Robshaw is going to get his points in bunches.
He's got actually if you toss out the two lowest scores for each player, Robshaw has the next lowest, which is a 16. That was the first week. But yeah, Ackerman's been pretty consistent. I think the one low score he has is off the bench. The other one's 29, 20, 22, and 24. Robshaw didn't play one game, and then they got 21, 40, 27, 16. So yeah. They're there.
Right, they're right there. I think over the course of the season,
who's cheaper?
I don't know.
Do you know?
Ackerman's at 310. They're right there next to each other. They're 315. So Robshaw's 315, Ackerman's 310. So they're basically the same. But because they're both over 300, I'm probably saying neither.
Yeah. You hope for something.
Expensive.
You hope for something for a little bit more expensive.
I'd still go Ackerman with those two because I think Ackerman's gonna.
Right. Yeah, their pounds per point is not pretty. Neither one of them's over. What's the word? I know the words. Neither one of them. Actually, Robshaw's over 3 by a touch.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're hoping for like 3.5 to 4 in that case. Hookers, Tom Dunn, Tom Cruise. Here's the and while we're on hookers, there's a problem where Tommy Taylor has less game time than Ashley Johnson for WAS. That's another thing that
they brought Ashley Johnson in at flank.
He belongs nowhere near the back row.
Right.
Nowhere near it, and that's Dy Young's number one problem. And I know he's got a couple Thomas is hurt, but yeah, Valano just went down and. Shields isn't 100% healthy, and I get it, but still, Ashley Johnson should be your last resort. I'd put me in a flank before him.
Right.
Dy Young, roll out there and go play flank. I know you were a prop, but it's all right.
So it was Dunn and who?
It was Dunn and Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. I mean, for me, that's easy. I have Tom Cruise. I don't have Tom Dunn. And looking at them, I mean, that's a major disparity in money, though.
Yep, but the points are about dead draw.
Yeah.
Cruise is actually...
Cruise is $100K cheaper.
Yep, and he's probably... Where's the words? His
he's got no competition for Wasps.
Yeah.
Although Dunn is pretty much... He's Bath's starting.
He's Bath's starter,
They're not going anywhere. But yeah, I would go Cruise.
Yep, fair enough.
The value and...
yeah, I mean, they both average around 19, 20 points. I mean, obviously there's other guys that you can pick, but just if you're stuck on something and you gotta pick between them, and this is what we're doing it for.
One thing I'm wondering though is it would be nice to know what Roland's injury and what his status might be.
Yeah, that'll be a huge thing
because that could hurt Cruz in the lineout
in the long run. Yeah, absolutely, yeah, I agree. Hopefully, it's nothing too bad.
Right.
8 men. Out and out 8 men. And there's a number of them in the league, and I'm going to throw 2 big names at you right here: Sam Simmons, Ben Morgan. They're about 5 points. They're about 5 points of separation.
Wow.
They both played 4 games.
Simmons and Morgan.
One is
I'm
more or
going
less
Simmons.
Yeah, so one's more or less cheaper than the other, but
I like Simmons a lot. I like Ben Morgan a lot. I mean, I like both of them a lot, but and Simmons is significantly more expensive. He's $60K more.
But there comes a time where you're willing to pay that premium.
Right.
And he is their out and out 8 man.
And Ben Morgan, love him. He's not going
He's not the same dynamic person that
he's
Simmons
not going to be taking a 40-meter try.
No, definitely not.
Sam Simmons might.
Yeah, didn't he play in the back line this weekend out of necessity?
Yes, he did. He came in as a back, played about like 10 minutes of back. That alone right there, there's your difference. Again, though, I have Ben Morgan. I don't have Sam Simmons.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, right?
Ultimately, if I'm choosing between the two, and that's my choice, I'd go with Simmons.
Yeah. Props, and obviously you can pick both of these guys if you really have to.
Some props.
Jamal Ford Robinson or Ross Harrison? Yeah, right. And they're dead even on points.
Harrison.
Yeah. Ford Robinson's cheaper, but I don't know.
I don't know how
he's got it. So here's the thing: they both have a minus game in their bag, which is not great. They both have played 5 apiece. Any guesses as to who has the high score of the two?
I know who. I'm looking at it now. They're tied.
No.
Oh, the high score. Oh, high score.
High score of the week.
Harrison had a huge game, didn't he?
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Jamal Ford Robinson this past game, 28.
Okay. Well, I mean that's the thing though. They're tied. He's got 28. Out of a prop, you get what you get.
Yeah. Oh, he's got 2 stinkers. He's got because he rotates. That's the thing. They are rotating him a lot.
Yeah, he is the backup.
Yeah.
Because for Gloucester.
Yeah, you have Balmain. You have
right.
You have a couple of bodies in there. They actually had a problem with props last year, but this year they seem to be okay. I like Harrison. I have Harrison.
So do I.
I have no problem with either one, honestly. I mean, obviously, Ford Robinson's the cheaper one, but I think Harrison's the more consistent starter.
Yeah.
I know Steve.
Oh, yeah, the Honeck and Balmain are the guys. I mean, well, Honeck is older, so he's kind of working his way out.
Yeah.
But
Rapava Ruskin's in there, too. I mean, those are obviously different sides of the scrum, but yeah.
Yeah.
Harrison's definitely Steve Diamond's boy, though. So
I'd go with the guy who has the certainly has the back of his coach and is gonna or backing from his coach and is gonna have the you're looking at the guys who again long term who's going to be playing a lot more and I just don't know right now if Jamal Ford Robinson is going to be getting significant minutes throughout the season.
Right. All right. Here's a fun one. Both return to the Prem this weekend. Scrum half. Rhynack or Care?
Rhynack.
Yeah, I knew you.
Rhynack, easy.
He's a slightly more expensive option, but he did score more this weekend, obviously.
I dropped 20 points to pick up Rhynack. I'm fucking taking Rhynack.
I guess you have no choice but to pick him.
Put my fucking money where the mouth is. So. And I captained him, too.
Yeah, that's true. There you go. Yeah, I mean, neither are bad options, obviously. Care does find ways to get points very easily, and obviously he is such a huge leader in that Quinn's team. But Rhynack, again, if he turns into anything, half of what he did last year, he's going to be an unbelievable play for this format and for FRD too if you have him. So yeah, neither one of them is bad. Again, Reinach's the slightly more expensive, but he did also score slightly more this week. So there's not a lot wrong with either one.
No, not a lot.
There really isn't.
But Reinach, okay, so also now maybe what is it? Let me see real quick. Sorry, I'm gonna take a minute to check.
Use your brain.
Some statisticals.
Statistics.
Where is it? Holy shit! Yeah, Danny Care threw 99 passes this weekend.
That's crazy.
I thought it was ridiculous. Let me check the other stat for Reinach. So Care threw 99. I thought Reinach threw fewer, but he still threw an impressive amount. Yeah, he threw 67 passes. So those are both very. I mean, 99 is fucking high.
99 is a whole lot.
Whole other level. So that kind of tells you where their points are coming from. So
yeah, I mean, and if you have your Rugby Mag upgrade, it tells you where you get your points, offense or defense.
I mean, Reinach had 2 try assists.
Big time, yeah.
He only had 16 meters, but it's still like.
Oh, he has the potential to get a lot more than that.
And he's going to, and he's going to have those little chips over, and he's going to score. I think he's going to score more tries.
Well, because number one, he loves an inside line for a scrum half line, and he loves a pick. So does Care,
right?
But they both love intercepts. So yeah, keep your eyes on
this
both of those
lineup
guys.
for the back line for Northampton is fucking sick. So he's going to get more than his chances as far as that inside line. Whereas for Harlequins, I'm just not sure it's going to be there.
Consistently. You're probably not wrong. All right. Here's one. Second rows. Out and out second rows. Mm-hmm. Ruan Botha from the Irish or Johnny Hill from Exeter? They're 5 points of difference.
Yeah.
And Johnny Hill's played 4 games and Botha's played 5.
Right.
I mean,
you gotta. So here's where I'm thinking galaxy brain here. You got to wonder if Johnny Hill's on the in the eyes for Six Nations. That both is not.
And definitely won't be. Yeah, he's their captain.
Right. So I'm gonna go with Botha because I like the way he's been playing. I think he can pick it up and keep it up. How many?
He's cheaper.
He's cheaper,
by
but
pretty good margin.
Good, decent amount. I'm just not sure. Let me see. I want to see how many tries. So he scored 2 tries. Mm-hmm. And Hill has scored. See what it is, 3. Mm-hmm. So that to me, like, and the reason that I'm looking at tries are obviously there's a big scoring opportunities, and also locks don't get that many opportunities. So what I'm wondering is if Johnny Hill was in position for a lot of tries early, especially with the internationals missing, and I think he's going to come down to earth a little bit as far as production.
Fair enough.
Especially when you have Kovacic and fucking all the guys we were just talking about.
Right.
Whereas Botha's, there's no reason to assume that his production's going to drop.
He's a club captain for, he's a big part of that team.
They don't have it. I mean, they still have Sean O'Brien coming back. They still have a couple other guys who are going to come into the mix, but... Yeah,
Coleman's probably going to be playing a lot, but Benham Merva's going to be going away soon, I think. I think he's alone, so... Yeah, that's a thing.
So I go Botha.
There you go. And finally, a wing, and I was hoping it would be something worthy of like comparing, and it definitely is. Gabriel Ibitoye or Tom O'Flaherty. They're a point apart.
Flaherty. O'Flaherty.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tom.
They're not much different in price. O'Flaherty's a little bit more expensive. Mm-hmm. Is the 1 point less. But his number in the pounds per point isn't that bad. I reversed it when I said it before. Like, you want it higher? No, you want it lower.
Exactly.
I'm an idiot. Sorry. Yeah. Didn't mean to confuse everybody out there that might be listening to that small, weird, minuscule fact. But yeah. Anyway, it is costing you a little bit more per point, but we obviously saw Ibitoye's his best game was the first game, and O'Flaherty's best game, he actually seemed to be getting better. He had one decent game, and then 13-13, 27-39. Ibitoye has been a little bit all over the place, 33, 19, 23, 27, 15. Mm-hmm. So he's definitely dependent on how Quins are doing.
Right.
And are they able to move the ball?
Right.
Because obviously he can do damage, but can they get it to him?
Yeah, and I look at guys who are building, and so O'Flaherty had a decent. He had 24 points the first week. Kind of trailed off against Bath and Worcester, but shit, the last 2 weeks he's been really picking up. In this week, he did a fantastic job. So I see him as kind of getting himself sorted out, especially with. So I think the returning internationals help O'Flaherty because that opens things up for him. Whereas Ibitoye is you kind of get what you're already gonna get, and I love them both. But if I'm
the answer's not wrong.
I'm being harsh here because
the answer's not wrong.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Because the answer's not wrong.
You're trying to pick one, but the answer's not wrong either way. Okay, to pick them, and then we can get the hell out of here. I say the hell out of here. I like doing this. What the hell's wrong with me? Bath opening up again on Friday night once again, but Claremont coming to town. We saw what Claremont did when they went away last time. It wasn't pretty, but this also might not be the same team.
Right. Well, it's also going to be interesting to see what the pitch is like at Bath.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be destroyed.
And how Claremont respond to that.
I think the likes of Yato and Fritz Lee are going to be enough to get them over the line. So I'm going to take the French.
Yeah, me too.
The French club there. Claremont actually going to win away from home.
I agree.
Okay, to Saturday, Leon and Benetton. This will be interesting, I have to say. I backed them once, and they kind of let me down, but they didn't. I mean, God, they lost at a kick of the death. But I haven't seen a lot out of Leon that I love, and I've seen much more out of Benetton that I like. So I'm going to take the Italian team and go Benetton, especially if Tommy Allen's playing fly half.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do the same because you kind of talked me into it, but I was going to pick Lyon because they're at home, but I do, like you said, I like the way that the Benetton's play. But I mean, Benetton, fuck. I mean, both these teams have had a hard ask to play against Leicester and Northampton. So
yeah,
it's hard to know which one you're taking. But Benetton, I thought, have been putting up fights.
They looked better against both Northampton and Leinster than I thought Leon did. Leon looked really scrappy, and it was really ugly. And at home against Leinster, you would think they'd be scrappy, but still, it's like, eh.
Well, I mean, to me, and also you got to look at the points for versus points against. Benetton have 51 points for. Leon only have 20. And Leon's given up 38. Benetton's given up 68. So there's disparity there, but if Benetton can make it their game and make it as far as a higher scoring game, then they'll win.
Right.
Whereas if they keep it low scoring, then obviously they don't have a chance because they're at home. But I'm going to go with Benetton.
Yeah, I'll get it right one of these days. Possibly the game of the weekend: Saints and Leinster at Franklin's Gardens.
It's Saints.
Yeah, it's hard to pick against them in the form they're in. Assuming they're going to go full noise. I don't think Laws will be back yet, but that's okay.
Or maybe he is. What if that was he feels all right, but I think
if he's ready to go, then definitely back the Saints.
I feel like they thought he might have been ready to go, but last minute this past weekend they said no because they wanted to play in this next one.
Fair enough. La Rochelle and Glasgow. Well, if La Rochelle can manage to not be a bunch of idiots and not eye gouge somebody, then I would pick the Frenchman because Glasgow have a hard time away from home.
That's a good point. I'm picking Glasgow.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll take the French at home, and you take. I mean, neither team has looked stupendous in this competition so far.
No, they haven't.
Glasgow eked out a win against Sale. La Rochelle got hosed when they went to Salford, so meh. Ulster Quins, Ulster.
Yeah,
especially at the Kingspan.
Yep.
Yeah, assuming I don't have these backwards. Yeah, yeah, the other game of the weekend.
What team was Sarries bringing to this?
That's always that's going to be the question for the entirety of this season, as long as there's both Europe and Premiership to be played.
Right. Well, I think this weekend's going to tell us a lot.
Yes.
So agreed. We don't, not knowing who they're playing, who they're going to bring to the table, it's hard to say. I think, though, based on their last lineup that they're going against. Who was it?
Ospreys.
Against Ospreys. Yeah, that's hard to tell because it's Ospreys.
They brought plenty of firepower.
Right.
There's no question.
They brought enough so at the beginning of this so I thought they were going to bring full noise the whole time, but they didn't in their first match against Rossing. They did a little bit against Ospreys to work their way back in. I think they're going to go full noise at this point. I do think they're going to go for it because they're going to want it. I mean, I think this weekend will tell them a lot about what they're going to do. I think they go full noise. I don't know that it's enough. Yeah.
I mean, we saw what it took for Rossing to tie Munster, and that was a great match that Rossing played, and Munster somehow, some way, still found a way to draw.
Right.
Like, at Tillman Park, it's tough. I got picking with my brain and not with my heart. I'm going to go and pick the Munstermen.
Yeah, I am too.
Rossing and Ospreys, doesn't matter where it is. We're going to go Rossing.
Yeah.
Hopefully Finn Russell plays and just dances circles around him because he's my fly half in FRD. Gloucester and Connacht. Ooh, this is an intriguing one.
Kind of tasty on this one.
This is intriguing. Connacht have got their 1-1. Gloucester 0-2.
Connacht didn't. I only got to see them play the once. I wasn't terribly impressed, so I'm going Gloucester.
Okay. Well, I'll back Darragh and go with Connacht. New England fly half's brother, tag leader's brother, Darragh Leader, plays fullback for Connacht. And they constantly switch their names in Irish media. It's ridiculous. Tig's always posting about it. I'm like, dude, how did they fuck that up? He's like, dude, we actually don't look that much the same. I mean, they look the same, but they look similar, but they're not twins by any means.
Right.
So it's like, and one's older, one's younger. So it's like, what the fuck?
They're both ginger? Oh, that's a shame.
Soulless. Oh, sorry. Just kidding. Sale and Exeter. Ooh, Exeter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Champions Cup, I know, but Exeter have got their formula, I think. And
Exeter they really need to. So, Sale doesn't need this. They want it, obviously.
Yeah.
But Exeter, they need to prove themselves that they can get out of get to the knockout round. Get to the knockout round.
Yep.
I don't know that Sale had that same desire. I'm not sure if that's still on there. And either way, I'm sure they'd be more than happy to make it in as a wild card team.
Yeah.
But Exeter really want to put their stamp on this tournament.
Yeah, they want to say we are going to be a competitive team in Europe from here out. So yeah, give me the Chiefs, and then Toulouse and Montpellier, an all French an all French class. I'm going to go with Toulouse.
Yeah, me too. The hosts.
And not only that, but they're playing such a better brand of rugby than Montpellier are.
One other note, though, it's fucked me up while I'm watching the NFL this past weekend.
Yeah.
I've watched so much rugby and so little football recently that now when I'm looking at the scores on the scoreboard for football, I get the home team fucked up because because everything's backwards.
Yeah, well, because we're the ones that are backwards.
Right.
You haven't figured it out. Like the rest of the world does home team first. We're idiots and like, yeah, let's listen to home team second because we want to be funny.
Well,
fuck you.
It's your guest. You're being polite. But
no. Just make it easy, please. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we have a massive round of Champions Cup. This is pretty much going to dictate how people go from here out.
Yep.
The clubs that win will probably continue to fight on, and the clubs that lose will probably consider packing it in, depending on which one it is. Like Northampton, Leinster, they're going to keep fighting on because neither one of them lost. And then I think even Saracens, Munster, that's a tight group, so they'll keep pressing forward. But other than that, thank you very much for listening. Find us on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. That's the one. Tune in, all that stuff. I'll get some start sits up for everybody this week. FantasyRugbyPodcast@gmail.com if you have a question. We're not going to do STFRY because it's just me that plays FRD right now. So that's okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, we'll give you a break for a couple weeks.
Yay.
And then, so we'll be back next week to recap the first half of the home and home of Europe. And until then, everybody have yourself a good week. Stay safe for those of you that are dealing with the friggin' bullshit snow that are out there. Everybody have a good one. Cheers.
Later.